But here I will show you to define your own business group. Because when you define your own business group, there are few things you need to keep in mind. Say new. To define all your organizations, be it a business group, a legal entity, here you have various types of organizations. An area headquarter, a benefit provider, branch office, business group, business unit, company, however you want to name it, you can name it depending upon your business structure. If it's a corporation, if it's a department, a division, a group, a headquarters department, whatever you want you can define depending your business requirement. A recruitment agency, so anything. Here we are defining a business group. Select the location that we have defined, AG location. Save your record. Come to organization classifications block. Oh, sorry, I didn't even give a name. Giving a name here, a unique name. An organization classification, you need to classify it as one of these. So ours is a business group. Depending upon your line of business, you need to select your classification, enable, and to this business group you're going to assign some information. You need to attach some information here. Why are we attaching all this information? Why it is required? Give a short name to identify. BG, as I said, is the topmost level here. Okay, your BG is the topmost level. Then comes your ledger. Then you have legal entity. Then you have operating unit. And then you have, at the lowest level, you have inventory organization. Now, to perform your operating unit, what you are doing, you are performing transactions. That means you're doing some sale, you're doing some purchasing. Who is doing these sales and purchasing? Human beings, right? There is some sales officer or there is some purchasing officer who takes care of your procurement needs. There is some sales officer who takes care of your sales needs. So where do we record the details of these employees? Business group level is where we secure the definition of employees. So that is the top level. So because of all these manpower that we have in our business, our legal entity comes in transaction. So in Oracle e-business suite, BG holds the employee information. Okay. So if there's a group of companies and they all are using a single instance of Oracle apps, then every employee in each company will be defined at business group level. So we'll see employee definition also later on, but understand here that at business group level we need to define employee information. For that reason we need to attach all this information. How do you want your employee numbers to be generated? Your applicant number to be generated. These are flex fields which are defined by human resource module. People who take care of human resources. Just like Oracle Financial Consultants, there are Oracle Human Resource Consultants too, who will define these flex field structures. Just like our key flex field, accounting flex field, which records the key accounting information, there are other key flex field structures in human resource module 2 which capture key human resource information with respect to jobs, postings, job positions of an employee. Now grade flex field will record information about the grades of the jobs. There might be various groups also created. So I'm not getting too much in detail about these flex fields because they are very much specific to HR. Just understand we need to associate these flex fields at business level for recording employee related information. These are already defined, so I'm just selecting from list of values, and most of them are represented by the same name. Legislation code is United States. This business group is located in United States. Currency is USD. Okay, and save this. Now once you have defined your business group, here comes the most important step. Whenever you are defining your own business group and you're defining it from a vision, operations, responsibility, do not define your other organizations from the same responsibility. Here you need to define your own responsibility. The reason being, business group which you have defined will have other organizations falling under it. And these organizations can only fall if your responsibility has the access of that business group. Let me do this step and then we will understand further what exactly I want to say. So system administrator, go to sysadmin responsibility, system administrator, security, define a user, user defined. Here I am defining my user, give a password or 123, save it, it will again ask for a password, save it, now your password is saved. I have defined a user. To this user I have to assign responsibilities. What you see here in the list of values, these are all responsibilities. What you see here, general ledger vision operations, is a responsibility for vision operations business. That is not mine, that is not ours, that's not Orange Business Group. So for Orange Business Group we have to define responsibilities. Whenever there is an implementation going on and after defining chart of accounts and all these things, comes the requirement of understanding how many users are there in the business. Okay, finance, there's a finance manager, there's a finance clerk, there's a data entry clerk also. Finance manager, there are three people, right? So you need to have three responsibilities. Why? Because with the help of these responsibilities, these individual people are going to perform their duties. The data entry guy is going to enter journal entries. Finance manager is going to pull out some reports or do some consolidation. He is not going to do data entry. So those menus and functions will be excluded. These are menus. User, define, monitor. These are all menus and functions. So the person who is not responsible to do all these activities, whatever his role is in the organization, say, I am not supposed to define users. I will not be assigned a responsibility with this function. Sysadmin will exclude those functions here. So let me define our own responsibilities. So all this configuration tasks will keep on happening. Implementation is a very much structured and phase-wise, phased, what do you say? It has got a lot of phases to take place. Assign a data group which is standard. Application is general ledger. Menus. So menus is where you restrict users accessing some specific functions in responsibilities. So for GL we are using GL super user. There is super user. Let me see. We're picking up super user because it has got all menus and functions. If you want to exclude something, you can use here menu. Say if I want to exclude something here, menu. a list of values. What is it that you want to exclude? You can select here. This is related to AP. Let me see GL. Yeah. Now budget. I don't want this clerk to work on budget, so I will exclude budgets. He will not be able to access budget related functions. He cannot raise budgets. He cannot do anything with respect to budgeting. So likewise, this is not our job, mostly done by uh, technical people. They are called DBAs, database administrators. Clear record will clear this because it was expecting me to enter some information since I access this form. Request group will involve all the...
I have a question. So this requirement field that are given to the clerk, is it given by somebody to this person to modify or give access to whatever the reports or application he is going to be using, right? Sorry, I can hear you.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I'll repeat myself. Yes, all this whatever responsibility that is assigned here, when defining here, this requirement will be gathered by the Oracle functional consultant. You have to sit with the business, you have to sit with the specific department heads, say finance department and marketing department. Take for example finance department, and you need to understand how many users are there, what roles do they play, what are their daily functions, their activities. Depending upon that, you have to, with the help of finance manager, restrict these responsibilities. Create a document again. In that document, it will specify very clearly general ledger responsibilities will be created for these roles. Okay, each role will be documented. Under that role, say Mohammed is a finance manager who takes care of reporting. Okay, you pull out some reports, you take key financial decisions about how much was the liability, how much was the asset, and how do you have to handle your debts. I am a clerk in the same organization. I work under Mohammed. I do a data entry. I enter all journal entries. So you do not want me to access your reports. So for that, the roles will be defined and what each role has to do and where the restriction needs to be placed will also be documented in that document. So all this is documented and then assigned to the person who is responsible to do this setup. As I said, they are like DBAs, database administrators, who manage these activities. They will perform this, defining of users, defining of responsibilities taken care by somebody else. Request group is GL. GL concurrent. This contains all the reports. We saw some time back how reports are run. So every module has got its independent reports to be run. Reports are a way to fetch data from Oracle application. You have entered. Now I am entering responsibilities here. In a day, I have created thousands of responsibilities, right? Now I want to know how many GL responsibilities I have created. How will I know? There will be a report, say in sysadmin itself. If I say view requests and submit a new request. So all the reports related to system administrator responsibility I can say in this list of values. Active responsibilities and users. How many are active right now and how many are end dated? Users, say some users who leave the organization. Okay, say tomorrow I am a clerk, I got some better job somewhere else. Okay, they are paying me more, I leave this organization, I join somewhere else. So what will happen to my username? it will be end dated. It will be inactivated. So I can run a report like this, active users, and see how many active users are there in the setup. I don't know if that is, they will have some parameters. I don't know if this report has a parameter or not. I'll show you what parameters are later on. Then you can submit a report. Submit another request, no. Fine. And you will see the report running. So this request group which we are assigning is nothing but list of values of all the possible reports required in a module. So likewise, you need to create responsibilities for all the modules. We have created for general ledger. We have to create for human resources. Why? Because from human resources responsibility, we are going to define our other organizations. This is one aspect of it. Another aspect is these responsibilities are also assigned profile options. Now, profile options are again a means of giving an access or a grant to your responsibility and also to determine how your responsibility is going to behave. Why is this taking so much of time? So after this, what we will do is we will define our own human resource responsibility, and to that responsibility we will assign our business group that we have defined. Okay. Profile, when we assign a profile option, those values will be inherited by the responsibility. It's not responding. We were in system administrator responsibility. System administrator responsibility defined. Quickly I'll define HR responsibility and then we move ahead with multi-org structure definition. Understanding your accounting setups and multiple organization is important. Okay. Now let me define human resources. Application is human resource. So for internal purposes, you can get some key here. Data group is standard. Application is human resource. Menu for human resource is US HRMS. Navigator. Request group for human resource is US HRMS. Reports. Reports and processes. Okay. Now, these responsibilities I have to assign a profile option. As I mentioned earlier, profile options are a way or means of giving access to your organization. Now to this responsibility which I have defined here, human resources, for my organization, I'm assigning a profile option called HR. These profile options are also specific to modules. There's a profile option called HR security profile. Okay, this is a very important profile option. You need to assign this to your responsibility, human resource responsibility, and to this profile option you attach your business group. This is where the structure will be created. Now when we are talking about profile option, let me explain this to you. You can assign profile option at these levels. You have site level. Vision Corporation is again a business group name as I told you, this system, this whole application comes with a Vision installation. There's already an installation of Vision Corporation done. So it's at the site level. Site level is the highest level for whole of the Oracle apps instance. This is used. Application will use your specific sub-ledgers, that is accounts receivables, payables, or order management modules. Responsibility is like we are assigning right now to specific responsibility. You can assign your profile option, and user is to a specific user. Say Mohammed is one user, I am another user, Anil is another user. So all these three users I can assign three different values. So right now we are assigning to responsibility level. Always assign your profile options at responsibility level. So site is nothing but an instance. There will be multiple instances in real time. A production instance, there will be a production instance, that means which is actually used by users. Okay, you will have these instances. One is a production which is actually used by the users. Second is testing, in which people like us, functional consultants, or anybody who wants to test can do some tests. The data in this might not be very consistent, but this should not be touched at all. Not everybody will have access. Why? Because this is the instance where actual business is going on. In real time, people are entering transactions in this instance. So this is a very critical instance which should not be touched by anybody except the higher people, higher managerial people who are authorized to do. So testing instance is one, development instance is another, which is used for your development when the developers who are developing some component with the help of writing codes. As I said, PLSQL, and PLSQL is a language which we use for coding. Okay, so they use this to develop and test their development. So that is what I mean by instances. So site is collection of all this. Then you have application. So application is again nothing but your modules, your specific modules. AP, AR, order management are your modules. Responsibility is, we saw just now, specific responsibilities. So if you do not set up here at the site at your responsibility level, this profile option will default. Let me explain it to you after some time. Okay. So we have associated a profile option called HR security profile. Make a note of it. This is very important. HR security profile, and to this you are assigning your business group. Now these responsibilities you need to assign to your user. How the user is going to access them? So the user which you have defined here, sorry, the orange. This is the user, right? Now to this user I am assigning these responsibilities and a system administrator responsibility, because every now and then I will need to log into sysadmin and add or delete something. Mostly addition I will have to do. Now, let us log in as our the login which we have created. Orange, R12 123 was the password. It will ask you to change the password for the first time. Sorry, wrong password. Okay. Now we have only these three responsibilities. So log into your human resource responsibility. and continue with your multi-org definition. Okay, let me close this. It's trying to open the other login, so it's contradicting that. Now this is our responsibility. Go to work structures, organization, description. The same form we use for defining our business group. The same form we are using for defining our other operating units. Right now I'm defining an operating unit. This is classified as an operating unit. Enabled. Others. Save your data. Others. Operating unit information. Mandatory. There's a star on that. So you need to define that. Here you need to add your ledger. That's the reason we were setting up accounting structure before. Because you need to add your ledger here. We are creating a relationship here between operating unit and ledger. Because in operating unit only you will be performing all business related transactions. And legal entity, sorry, it's US legal entity. Because it's a US operating unit. Okay. So I cannot attach a different legal entity. It's a US operating unit. I have to attach a US legal entity. So when a transaction takes place, it will get captured in this legal entity and the ledger attached to this operating unit. So create an inventory organization. Attach a location here for inventory. Classify it as an inventory organization. Enabled. Others. Save it. Accounting information is mandatory. Now to this inventory organization you need to add a ledger. Whenever there is a receiving of material in this inventory organization, the respective accounts will get recorded in ledger. Respective legal entity will be impacted and it will get recorded in the respective operating unit. So you need to add these three when you are creating an inventory, or you need to create a relationship between operating unit, legal entity and ledger. Now how do we know if the structure that we have defined is correct? This is one way. The other way is to view your structure. You can go to General Ledger Responsibility, Setup, Financials, Accounting Setup Manager, Accounting Setups. Query your ledger. In R12, this is a new feature. Update accounting options. Go to operating units option. This option. Operating units. You can define from your ledger as well, your operating unit. This is the new feature. You can define from the HRMS responsibility, and you can define from the ASM accounting setup manager uh, feature here. Now this operating unit we have defined, isn't it? Aura US operating unit. It's falling under Aura business group. Why? Because to this responsibility, human resources, we attach this business group. Aura business group. We attach this business group. That is the reason it is falling under this and the legal entity we attached. Had we not assigned the profile option at responsibility level, it would have picked up Vision Operations Business Group, which is a wrong structure. Vision Operations is not our business group. So this operating unit has to fall under its own business group. Okay. Now from this form, when I create add operating unit, okay, I'm creating another operating unit. This time it is asking me a business group. In HRMS responsibility, when we added operating unit, it asked for ledger and legal entity. Why? Because to that responsibility we had business group profile option attached. From HRMS responsibility, you had this business group attached to this profile option. So what did it ask for? Ledger and legal entity. Now from this ledger, we are already in a ledger, but we need to create a relationship between BG and the legal entity. So here you will have to explicitly select your business group and legal entity. You are getting what I'm trying to say? US, sorry, UK. It's a UK typo. This is a UK legal entity. Okay. Apply. Now you see the relationship being generated between the accounting structure and the multiple organizations, multi-org structure. So when you record a transaction in these operating units, it will get recorded in this ledger, Aura ledger. Okay. So your multi-org structure is ready. There's one more thing I want to tell you here. Go to your human resources. These steps which we see here, define organization relationships which we have done, responsibilities we have done. Now associate responsibilities with business group, we have done that too through this profile option. Okay. Define security profile and multi-org profile options, we'll see in next session. We are not seeing it now. All these are optional. We'll see these in later on. Run the multiple organization validation report is just for an formality's sake. But there is one thing I want to show you is the diagrammer. Structures where you have to create the hierarchy. If you are in your if in your organization you have Oracle applications implemented, you can try this. You can go in this navigation hierarchy and look for your organization hierarchy. From this, save this. Now come to this block of organization. Control F11. You will get your list of organizations. Now what are we doing here is we are creating a hierarchy, which is your topmost business group, isn't it? So subordinate, attach your, what comes under business group? You have your legal entity. Sorry. You can attach your operating unit here. Okay. Press down button. Your OU will go up to your here. Now OU is your topmost. What comes under OU? Your inventory organizations. Attach your inventory org. Okay. Like this again, if you press down, your inventory will go up, but this is the lowest one. There is nothing under this, so it will not show you anything. So your hierarchy is created. Why are we doing this? Because tomorrow you leave the organization, some new person will come. How will he know what is the hierarchy? Now for you also, if you go and join some organization, right, you are implementing somewhere and you need to understand what is the hierarchy. They can't sit in the meeting room and draw a diagram and show it to you. So this is how they document an Oracle application. This is number one. You can access this and see. This should be enabled. Finally. Open editor. There is no root node for this hierarchy version. You just now created a hierarchy. Just a moment. Query here. Okay. You were not supposed to create anything. The hierarchy which you have created previously in the previous screens will come here. Open editor. Oh my god. It has got some problems. It's not opening the editor, but okay, I'll show you later on. It will show you, in a structured format, which is the topmost and what comes under it. This is what is there? So any organization, if you are moving, if you are new, you can open the diagrammer and view. So our multi-org setup and accounting setup is done.